Well, good evening, or whatever time of day it is when you're watching this. I wrestled here with the title and the topic because it's a difficult one for me. And the title is, Why Have I Blocked So Many People? It's a question, obviously. That question has been coming up for about 2 years. As I see it, the Hate Ron group was started by the man with many false identities, also known as the Friar. There was also a woman who attended one of the early conferences recommended by the ambassador and taught by Gwen Caldwell. She started trouble immediately following that. I'm sure there are others who joined in, especially during the time I had my stroke, open heart surgery, 3 heart attacks in a few weeks, and a few months where I was extremely short of breath and did not know if I would survive. The attacks were horrible, and I had no patience with those I perceived as attacking me unjustly. I simply blocked them. That's why. There's been questions periodically during this entire time about me blocking people. Now, in regard to the Friar, I blocked him, then communicated with him and unblocked him, and he proceeded to continue to attack me. And so I blocked him, and I will never unblock him again. And he has, I've not gone in and counted the list. There's probably 100 or 200 people that I've blocked altogether. I've not counted them, but I'll bet you a significant percentage of them are the Friar's alter egos. He keeps coming up with these crazy names, and there's always a message in the fake names that he comes up with. and it's easy to identify them, and what I do is I go on, and if there's nothing on that page of an attack or a bad comment, I delete the comment and block the individual because they have a page with no content. If they have content and they show that they're actually having a YouTube channel, I generally do not block them. There have been maybe a few exceptions to that, but that's the general rule. In any case, I don't even remember the name of the woman that I referred to. I did remember Gwen Caldwell's name. And of course, the ambassador was a lightning rod for a lot of people. I got a lot of criticism when I was doing videos with the ambassador. And I want to say this about the ambassador. He was very personable, and we spent a lot of time, often daily conversations, sometimes quite lengthy, other times shorter, but pretty much daily conversations for an extended period of time. Now, he had some people in his circle that I thought were pretty rough around the edges, to say the least, but the ambassador always treated me well, up until my birthday last year, when all of a sudden he made a video and called me a liar. But then he seemed to make up with me, and we were communicating again, not as regularly as we had in the past, but nevertheless the lines of communication were open, and we talked about my trip to Australia. And when my hostess for that trip pulled the rug out from under me within less than a week after I landed on that continent for a month visit, I needed the ambassador to follow through as he had promised and provide me some contacts that he had in Melbourne, Australia, that would have been able to put me up, or if not put me up, at least help me financially. None of that ever came through. And I have not communicated, I don't believe, with the ambassador since I returned from Australia. And whether I ever will again, I don't know. But I don't think the man's a bad man. If the story he told me is true, he is someone that was born in the elite Illuminati family, ended up in a disagreement with one of the other Illuminati people, and ended up spending 2 years in jail where he had a spiritual awakening. That's the story. Okay, I honor that, and again, I like the ambassador personally. I don't understand him calling me a liar. I wasn't lying. He promised me $5,000 way back at the very beginning of our contact, and he promised to reimburse me for the passport that I bought when I was supposed to be making a trip to China. Neither of those ever came through. Neither has there ever been one dime or nickel or penny even transferred from the ambassador to me over the entire course of time. But again, I want to emphasize that most of the blockages came after I had had my stroke, and during the period of hospitalization, the period where I was suffering heart attacks after I was first released from the hospital, and then went back in 3 more times to the hospital, all within about a 3 or 4 week period. And up until midway or half or 3/4 of the way through August, I was still like that every time that I would walk, even from my bedroom to the refrigerator, which wasn't very far when in my house. It was just a short hallway. The refrigerator was in the garage, my refrigerator. Of course, my family lived with me, and I didn't use their refrigerator. That was their refrigerator. My refrigerator was in the garage. So we had 2 refrigerators in the house. But in any case, I did not have, when I was doing the recovery, I did not have the patience to put up with people trying to criticize me and engage me in negative conversations. I didn't have the energy or the desire to go there, and I was pretty quick. If it was a negative comment, I mean, goodbye, you're gone. And I had no regrets about that, and I still have no regrets. Although I do believe that there are some people that are in that group that if I could somehow figure out a way to weed them out, and good people, I would probably do it. Now, I want to say something about that website that the Friar created. I've been told about it by a number of people, that there's a website, and I call it the Hate Ron group. I've never once been on that website, never once. Even the ambassador suggested that I go there and look and see what people are saying. No, thank you. I know the source. To me, the source is a cabal-influenced thing, trying to stand up for the New World Order. And some of the people were saying I really had a mortgage on my home, which I never did. That is a blatant, outright lie. The bank stole my home. It's now sold to an investor. And I just looked at the paper at the one of the realtors that was a friend of mine sent me the information on the sale of the home. It just was sold within the past couple of weeks, maybe not even that long. Since I've been back from Australia, the house was sold. So it's still my house as far as I know. And if they ever establish lawful courts in the United States, I will take the people to court, not only for that property, but for the property in Mare Island that was Dr. Mary's, because there was a breach of contract. There was an oral contract made. I put it in affidavit form, filed it with the courts, and they breached the contract, because we're dealing with liars, lawyers, and they always lie. But now you understand, I hope. I hope I've cleared why I've blocked so many people. And if there are people that are legitimately not anti-Ron and not part of the Hate Ron group, even if they're in that organization and they've looked at that videos, I would consider, if there's some way that they can get in touch with me, I would consider reinstatement if they open communication with me. And I'm setting I got a new email address that's going to be now on my videos as of today. So anyway, I see I've gone over 10 minutes now. So thank you for listening, and you have a beautiful day, whatever time of day it is for you, and namaste.